We're about to go deep on this one. Right, no introduction for this video, just want to get straight into this topic. So yesterday, I put out a tweet. I was like, yeah, trying to do a bit of a discussion-based video for the channel tomorrow. Would appreciate your suggestions for topics and whatnot. Put down my phone for a bit. Picked it back up after a couple of hours and looked at the responses. Got one from the legend, Mr. Sweet Tooth. Thank you, sir, for the reply. But he said, tribute sets. Just those two words put together, and I was like, my man's trolling out here. Like, well, why are you just sending me those words put together? Like, what's the point? What's the context here? I don't get it. I go to the timeline, I start scrolling, and it all starts to unfold. Just tweet after tweet after tweet from producers, followers of electronic music, fans, whatever, with the same poster attached in every quote tweet, every main tweet. That poster being the one right here. Most people basically saying, what on earth is going on right here? Now, let's get onto the premise of this event. So, saw quite a few people asking, you know, what is this? What is going on here? Which I can only assume is rhetorical, because I think it's pretty obvious just from looking at this poster and, you know, from people having talked about it, just what is going on here. But essentially, what you're going to get with this event is full sets of music from the bigger names that we get here on this poster, but played out by the people in the finer print, in the smaller print, again, on the posters. So yeah, essentially we're getting sets of their music not played by those people. Tribute sets in electronic music. So yeah, that is essentially what's going on here. Now, before I dive into why I think this straight up just won't work, I am going to look at it from the other side just quickly. Because I think, you know, ultimately, if you enjoy music from those producers a lot, this is what you're going to get. You're just going to get a night of Zhu, of Copandorum, of RL Grime, Excision, whatever. This is a night that has been set up solely to hear and to play music from these people, from these music artists, these producers, whatever. So, as long as it's free, I think it sounds quite cool, you know, it just sounds like a bit of fun. But yeah, again, like I said, so long as it's free, which is something that we will get to in a bit. I saw a tweet on the old Twitter saying, I get it kinda, I get the concept, I get the idea, but this isn't quite the move. And that was quite an important tweet for me because, you know, aside from that whole thing of it being, again, quite a cool idea, quite a cool concept, there are quite a few problems with it, and this is where I'm going to get into a bit of a ramble, guys. Now, from what I gather, this event is a paid event, and, you know, that money might just be going to the venue or the setup, but potentially the people playing these sets are getting paid as well, you know, to do these sets. None of the music is their music, and from what I know, they don't actually make music of their own either. So, obviously, people get paid to play music that isn't theirs. That's just what DJing is, in a big way. That's what happens in pretty much every set that you'll see. But there's something about posing as someone else and not changing the name at all, without the permission of these artists as well, lest we forget, that feels just a little bit snaky and makes me question whether it's even allowed, whether it's legal. With a normal tribute act, you would usually change the name slightly. You might put your own spin on the music, the appearance, whatever. Here, the names are the same, which could cause some potential confusion when it comes to who these musicians actually are. You know, imagine someone is going to their first event and they think that they're watching Subtronics or Excision or Rez or whatever. It could very easily happen. The thing of turning up for the event and thinking that they're getting the real deal when they're just not. I think for me and most people who are looking at this poster, it is quite clear, very clear, that it is a kind of tribute situation, but you could get people who are just not aware of that kind of thing at all. And they will just go to that event having heard the music before from these artists that they really like and just assuming that they are indeed playing because they are the big font on this poster. And, you know, some people have called it deceiving, which is kind of true given how this poster looks. I mean, they're using big names here in order to make money of their own, with none of it going to those actual artists and without those actual artists knowing. So yeah, it does seem just a little bit sus if you ask me. Massive gargantuan shout out to my man Bates for this tweet as well. I mean, yeah, this is what they should have done, gone for these kind of names, because that would actually make it funny. Put a kind of spin on it, given it being free as well, the event, like, that just would have made it funny, you know, even if you're still kind of laughing at them, it's a good kind of funny, do you know what I mean? Like, kind of taking the piss out of themselves and just making a laugh of it, you know, it's still a celebration of the music, but it's a parody, you know, quite clearly that. That would have been quite good. Moving on from there, I think another quite important point to make here is that the music that would be played in these sets at this event, at this festival, wouldn't be live in any way. It would all be digital. So there's no actual way in which the people playing these sets are making the art itself their own, like with their own twist or interpretation or whatever. You know, when you think about a tribute act, you think about someone performing someone else's music in their own way and putting their own spin on it, whatever. These people could be producers themselves, they could be just making edits of all these tunes and then making that into a set, but I highly doubt that would be the case. And then beyond that, when it comes more so to the performance aspect of it, I would also be massively surprised if these people actually dressed up like them. If they dressed up like these bigger artists. But oh my fucking god, can you imagine? Just the thought, right, of someone making their own Copandorum mask, or putting on a jus falsetto kind of voice, or buying an excision cap, or buying a wig that's like 1.5 meters long that looks like Subtronic's hair, or getting the res glasses. Like, for fuck's sake, like, what is actually going on here? Just look for a second at this Queen tribute band. I mean, they've got it all down. They're called literally Queen Tribute Band, you know, changing the name. The look is very similar, but it's clearly just a take on it. They've got the image completely down. They've got their own instrumentation. They're clearly going to be doing their own versions of Queen hits. Like, I suppose at the moment I'm not quite 100% sure how in any way that can translate over into electronic music, just how it works, but I really would love to know. You just hope and you pray for these people who have made this event and that they've got some kind of licensing or something similar, because like I said, the producers here, well, you know, they're not here, they're just, you know, the bigger names, the bigger font on this poster, if you will. They were not asked if this event could go ahead, and that's a problem. You know, we could be looking at a bit of a copyright nightmare here. Also, just the thing of calling them tribute acts, I mean, as if these people are dead. These people are still very much alive and touring, earning money, doing their thing with their own music. I mean, Copandorum, technically dead, but you know what I mean. It's the BYOB thing as well, just amping up the tackiness of it, and then that live performances to enhance the experience quote. Like, who okayed that? How and in what world does that collection of words work on a poster like that, given what you are going for here? If it was a completely free event and just a bit of fun, then it would be quite hilarious, but come on, guys, like, what are you playing at? What is this? Honestly, like, I just can't get my head around it. All of that being said, I think it does raise a couple of interesting questions. Like, for one, where do we draw the line with people getting paid and just event charging overall for people playing other people's music? What do you have to be, or what do you have to do in order to be able to do that? Isn't that just what DJing is in its strictest form? You know, here, in this example, for this topic, is it just the fact that they're using these bigger artists' names to make money and make this event, or is it actually just a little bit weird in itself to earn money and make money from playing other people's music? What is the main gripe here? Secondly, how much do people actually care who the person is behind the music? Ultimately here, the music is the same. Again, it's all digital, it's all electronic, it's not going to change. Does it actually matter who is playing it? You know, people say time and again with ghost producing, for example, they wouldn't care if they found out that, you know, the music they've been following all along was actually made by someone else. Yet here, you're saying that you would care if it was played by someone else. The music in these sets at this event is going to be the same, whoever's playing it. So, yeah, what's the difference? And finally, and I suppose most interestingly, is could this lead to this kind of thing happening more? You know, tribute acts are mostly for people, as we've said before, who have died, and EDM producers have passed away. Who's to say that we won't get an Avicii set or a Cookie Monster set or IO tribute sets going forward quite a lot? You know, it isn't something that sits right with me, I have to be honest, if these people who are playing these sets are getting paid in full just to play music of people who have passed on. Maybe if it's free and it's just a bit of a celebration of their music, but you know, it could very well happen. It could become more of a thing now that this example has been highlighted, and we could even see these kind of sets becoming more popular than sets from actual original artists who have to maybe switch up what they're doing because people just want to hear their music and not those people who they want to see playing music that isn't theirs. So, I mean, the possibilities on the back of this and having this kind of discussion kind of endless, which is mad because, I mean, yeah, just crazy times we are living in. Ultimately, with this kind of topic, this subject, whatever you want to call it, I'm just quite intrigued as to what it would look like. You know, the setup, how many people would go, and that thing of how much of a tribute it would actually be. You know, I talked about earlier whether they might dress up as these producers, but like, where do you stop with that? Do you use their visuals as well? Their emblems, their logos? Do you kind of mimic their movements? Do you impersonate them? Just what are they doing here to make it a tribute beyond just playing an hour of their music? Like, what is actually going on here? The entire thing, the whole thing just fascinates me. But now, yeah, I want to hear from you guys. What do you make of all of this? Like, do you agree with it? Do you not? I imagine most of you don't agree with it for your given reasons. But yeah, still just do want to ask, because there were a few people on Twitter just saying, you know, this maybe could work in some roundabout way. But yeah, philosophical questions as well, like, where do we draw the line with people playing other people's music? And could this in fact or indeed become a thing in the future? Is it going to become more popular? Who knows? But yeah, I want to know it all. I want to know your thoughts, your views, your opinions. Drop them in the comment section down below. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to give the video a big old thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All of the necessary links are down below. You got your Twitch, your Patreon, your social media accounts. Everything Nawtystep affiliated and associated is down below in the description. Go and check it out. But yeah, beyond that, keep it naughty. If it's naughty, then you know, and I shall see all of you legends in the next one. Peace.